Hello, my dear viewers. It is April 5th. We have the traditional review of the events on the Ukrainian war fronts. Today, we are starting it in the Soviet direction, where the main events happened yesterday. Our troops went on an assault in the eastern part of Chasov Yar city, the Canal microdistrict, as I call it, after several days of fire preparation. Both aviation and artillery worked hard. According to enemy data, including confirmation from the enemy, they were successful yesterday. Our forces have managed to secure the easternmost outskirts of this micro-district. Then, throughout the night and this morning, our aerospace forces and artillery continue to pound this micro-district. At the same time, our troops are trying to outflank the enemy positions on the west side of this settlement from the Ivanovskaya direction. Our goal is to occupy this district and secure the left flank of our offensive. Our troops continue to try to push through, at least pretending that they are. They are trying to push through the enemy's defenses further north, beyond Bogdanovka, but no progress has been made there yet. However, on two fronts, Zapadny Ivanovsko in the region of the eastern outskirts of Chasov Yar, there have been very important changes. This is essentially significant, suggesting that our armed forces have started the assault on Chasov Yar, which has been long discussed as an upcoming operation. We wish our guys success, and we should also expect news from them today. This is the frontline news because, I repeat, intense fighting has been going on since morning. The aviation and artillery are functioning powerfully, and I'm really hopeful for good news from this region. The second significant front continues to be the Avdiivka sector, where our troops continue to try to occupy after successfully advancing to the western part of Berdichi. They're trying to take control of the entire settlement, and the enemy, by deploying reserves, is desperately trying to prevent them. Yet our troops managed to push through yesterday, establish control over another enemy fortress in this region, and the fight in Semyonovka, another critical point of the enemy's defense in the sector, continues. If we manage to break this defense completely, which thus far all signs point to, the enemy will have no other choice than retreating to the Okeretin area, where the enemy, I reiterate again, has their main stronghold. If we shatter it, the enemy will begin to face enormous challenges here. And I sincerely hope that sooner or later everything will fall into place, just as expected. In the meantime, fierce battles are still ongoing around Umanskoye. Our forces are starting to employ aircraft and artillery against the last defense line on this flank, closing in on Karlovka, which covers the supply trail between Nitelovo and Umanskoye, thus marking the commencement of the battles for this defense line of the enemy. The enemy has confirmed our advance. However, it is too soon to claim that we have broken through this defense line. Furthermore, a little to the south, in the Krasnogoria area, the fight continues. Here on the troops are trying to pass both to the south of the settlement and to the north. Battles are ongoing for Pervomaisye, for Georgievka, and in the area of the village of Nevelskoye. However, up until yesterday, the day before yesterday at least, no serious advances have been noted on this sector. South of Novomikhailivka, there are also no significant changes. Our troops are partially improving their positions, either to the north or south of Novomikhailivka. But in the most western part of Novomikhailivka, which remains under enemy control, there's no progress yet. There are small advancements to the west in the Staromaisk area, where our troops have captured one enemy's strongholds and are trying to drive the enemy out from the hills around the village to ensure the liberation of this settlement and also the neighboring Urozheni, to thereby deprive the enemy of the few successes they managed to achieve as a result of last summer's counteroffensive. The same is happening in the Zaporozhye sector in the Verbovoy-Robotin area, where our troops, every day they try to improve their tactical positions. Well, I repeat, as before, I consider this direction to be a dead end, and as they say, I cannot understand the stubbornness of our command. I cannot break through the enemy's defenses here as before. Very important battles are also taking place in the Seversk sector of the front, where our soldiers of the 106th Tula Airborne Division continue to successfully carry out offensive tasks in the direction from Vesyoloye to the settlement of Vykodki. For the second day in a row, there have been successful offensive operations. Another defensive midfielder. Our troops have seriously penetrated the enemy's defenses, and most importantly, it is precisely the enemy's defenses that have been captured on the defensive on the heights, which should eventually lead to a serious forward movement of the pullback of the enemy's entire front further north, closer to the city of Seversk. There is also good news from the north. This is the Lyman direction. Yesterday, our troops entered the outskirts of the village of Tarny. Fighting continues.